So after we did our ER rule, we added our exponents together. You have x to the 17/6. You ask yourself, how many times does 6 go into 17? And last time I checked, that was twice. 6 times 2 is 12. There's 5 left over. So we would have x squared outside the radical and x to the 5th underneath the radical. Once again, don't forget your index. We did the 6th root. Questions about that? All right, part B. Notice this time around, the ER rule got taken care of for us. So this is starting like one step into the problem already. It's already written with its rational exponents. So now we could just do the properties of exponents like we did back in chapter 5. Remember that multiplication is associative, so we can reorganize this problem to make it a little easier, right? Like we can regroup the constants, or the coefficients I should say. So we could take -5 times 3, and then we could do our powers of x. So we have x to the 5/3 times x to the -3/4. And then -5 times 3, that's pretty easy. That's just -15. And then what I have in blue there is a product of like bases. So once again, I can go ahead and add those exponents together. So we have 5/3 plus a -3/4 or -3/4, depending on how you look at it. Once again, we need a common denominator. I can't speak. The common denominator between 3 and 4 would be 12. So we're going to make those 12s on the bottom. Multiply the top and bottom of 5/3 by 4 to get the 12. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 4 is 20. And then multiply the top and bottom of that second fraction by 3, because 3 times 4 gives me 12. So 3 times 3 on the top gives me 9. So we're looking at -15 is still hanging in there. And then we have x raised to the 11/12 power. Again, perfectly fine as an answer, but the directions tell us I have to write it as a simplified radical. So this is where I got to use my ER rule. Remember the 15, that is being raised to the first power, so it does not get sucked into the radical expression. No, it does not. We leave the -15 out of it. And we are taking to simplify x to the 11/12. That's the 12th root of x to the 11th power. And then 12 doesn't go into 11, so that's actually done. The end. Let's try it again here. So once again, part C, what you're learning how to do today is, these kind of mimic A and B quite a bit. What you're learning how to do today is multiply radicals when the indices are different. So do you see how we have a cube root multiplied by a 4th root? So step 1 is like we can't use our product property to multiply those things together. If they were both cube roots, then yes. If they were both 4th roots, then yes. But we don't have a product rule for indices that are different. So we have to use our ER rule to rewrite each of those factors. So I'm going to rewrite the cube root of x to the 4th as x to the 4/3. Remember, multiplication is implied. They don't always put a dot. You can put a dot or leave it out. It's kind of up to you. And then this second radical factor here, we have the 4th root of x squared. Again, using our ER rule. This would become 2/4. And I think most of you know that 2/4 is actually 1/2. That's the case for reducing the index, right? So I would reduce that. And then we just add the exponents together. So you're doing 4/3 plus 1/2. Common denominator would be 6. So top and bottom would be 8/6 plus 3/6. And you get x to the 11/6. Since it said write it as a simplified radical, we're going to take the 6th root of x to the 11th power. And we're going to ask ourselves, how many times does 6 go into 11? It is 1 time. And then there are 5 left over. So you got x times the 6th root of x to the 5th. Any questions about that one? Yeah, you guys are crushing it for a Monday. Way to go. All right. This one I wanted to show you a little shortcut, because I think a lot of you would have just jumped right into like using your properties of exponents, which is fine. That's, again, not wrong, but I'd like to show you a little bit of a quicker way. Do you just take a second? Do you see how the bases are the same? Like they're both being, you know, they both have a base of 2x. So what I'm doing here is I'm multiplying 2 like bases together. What am I allowed to do with those exponents when I multiply like bases together? What step can I jump right into? What do you think, Sergey? Yeah, we're going to add them. Good job. So we got 2x. Oops, that's a highlighter. Don't want that. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a shortcut, and I'm just going to jump right into adding 4/3 plus -1/3. And I'm allowed to do that because I have like bases. It's that product rule on the chart on the previous slide. And then what's so nice is that we have the same denominator, right? So this is 3/3, which is 2x to the 1st, which is 2x. So much faster. Now, could you distribute your exponent in, put the 2's together, put the x's together like we did? Yeah, but it takes longer. People, you have lives. If there's an easier way out, try to find it. Take a second and look at the problem first. You are not a robot. You are a mathematician. Okay. So hopefully that helps you a little bit too. Maybe you didn't see it initially, but now that I pointed it out to you, maybe there's, now there's faster ways to do the problem. All right. Guess what? Independent practice time. I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple minutes to do that. See if you're understanding our lesson today. It's a little mixed review. You got letters, and then you got numbers. With any extra time, we're going to hop back into our 6-2 seesaw. Take a look at it. I'll be with you in just a second. Just double check your independent practice there. Make sure it looks the way it's supposed to. Now we're going to go into the seesaw to get a little more practice.